Please make your way onto your mat. You will need a couple of blocks and a blanket. If you don't have blocks, you can just grab like pillows, something like that. Pop all of those props off to the side. I don't know why I haven't clipped this on yet. And make your way down to your back. Always nice to have a blanket rolled out underneath you. That's never a problem. Pop your coffee out of the way. Down onto your back. Swish your legs out in front of you. And let's just start with the feet about as wide as your mat. Arms open wide. And just take a moment to let your knees knock from one side of your mat to the other. So today we are going to be really giving our tummies, our bellies, a lot of love. I am a really big fan and a big advocate of a belly rub. When was the last time you had a belly rub, really? Even whenever I get a massage, I'm always requesting. I'm like, can you go into the belly? As someone who's dealt with some inflammation, it's a really nice way to help to move inflammation along. Let the knees drop to the left and turn your gaze to the right. If you have water retention, this is a great thing to do, helping. We've got so many major lymph nodes in the belly, so today's practice is going to support them. Bring your knees through center. Let's go down to the other side. And it also just feels so good. How grounding to have a belly rub. The belly being the place where our umbilical cord was attached, where we were attached to our mother. It's a very common practice in Ayurveda to pour oil into the belly, like warm sesame oil or even ghee, if you're feeling ungrounded. Bring your knees back through center. Legs up into a tabletop position. We're going to open our arms out to that wide T shape again and take those same moves, but this time we're more needing to engage the core and draw the belly button to the spine. I've got my palms facing down. And I've got my two shoulder blades heavy on the floor. My two shoulders heavy on the floor. So it can be just a really little baby itty bitty tik-tok. Or maybe it goes pretty big, just depending on what feels good for you. Getting that nice deep twist. If you want something a little bit stronger, as your knees drop down to one side, you might even extend those legs out. Bend the knees, come back through center. Getting our core invited to the party. Let's do a few more of these. I'd actually totally forgotten about ghee in the belly button until just now. I'm gonna go and do that. I've just gotten home from travel and feeling a little flighty, as happens when we travel. So ghee in the belly button after this. Let's all do it. Let's place our feet down to the floor. Arms beside the body. Lift your hips up into a bridge pose. Reach your arms up overhead as well. Squeezing the glutes. Imagine there's a yoga block between the thighs. You might even want to place one of your blocks between your thighs. You're going to bring your left bum cheek to tap the floor and your right elbow. And then lift back up. Other side, left elbow, right bum cheek, lift back up. Keep on going like this. Doesn't that feel good? Getting that little rinse out through the belly. We're also strengthening our glutes. And so I want you to squeeze your glutes. Imagining that you have a credit card between them. So we're starting to really warm up and support the glutes, helping to support the low back as we get these little twists and rinses out through the belly, helping to support that motility. So if things have not been flowing, this should help to support that. Last one, reach up. Reach your arms down beside your body. I want you to channel your inner Shakira and start to bring some little circles into your hips. If you are a regular practitioner of yoga or Pilates, we're so often moving in just linear kind of ways. And so bringing in a hip sway might feel challenging, and that is good. Let's go the other way. Helping to get all these little muscles switched on, nice and strengthening while we get those little sways going. Let's go last 5. Change directions if you haven't already. For 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Oh, nice. Roll down, down, down. Now you're going to need your blocks or pillows or whatever you've got. I like 2 blocks stacked on top of each other so that you've got a really nice big surface area. So I'm going to slide those underneath my hips. If that feels too high, just go with 1 block, go with a cushion. You might even like your blanket on top of your blocks. That will help to give you a little more softness. Bring both of your hands to the bottom right corner of your belly. So you can imagine your belly is in 4 quadrants. Hands come to the lower right quadrant. I've just got my 2 hands stacked on top of each other, and I'm going to lift up towards me, so towards that upper quadrant, and then down and around. So we're moving in a clockwise direction. Bottom right, top left, bottom left. We are rubbing our bellies. And you might notice somewhere along that journey, things just feel a little bit stuck or a little bit sticky. And feel free to really slow down. I'm just using flat palms for now, but it can also feel nice to kind of go da da da, like imagine a cat walking on your belly. Kind of pressing in as you're still moving in that same direction, and even pushing and helping the digestive system. Nothing quite like a colon massage. I have a friend who's a colonic hydrotherapist, and I go to her and I say, look, I don't want you to stick anything up my bum, but can you just give me a belly rub? So we're doing this with hips elevated. I find this feels really good, just helping to give you a little bit more access to your belly. If you're not enjoying the blocks underneath you, you can get rid of them and just lie on your back as we continue. We're just sticking with this clockwise direction, as this is the direction of your digestive tract. And there's not really a particularly right or wrong way to push. You can go really light. Light touch is wonderful. The lymph responds really well to the light touch. You can go kind of hard here. I find that bottom right, just getting that trap door open. I'm forgetting the actual name of it right now, but that's a really nice place to spend a little extra time if you're feeling a little stuck there. Got the small intestine here as well. Lovely. If this is feeling wonderful, you are very welcome to keep going with this belly rub. Let's just bring the hands out to the waist, and then we're gonna lift up and draw everything towards the center. Starting at the waist, 1 hand on each side, and then we're just coming up and through the center. And this is a technique I learned from Leah Levitin from Lymph Love Club. Oh, love a belly rub, so good. Okay, and you're very welcome to keep rubbing your belly. Don't stop if you don't want to. If you're with me, we're just going to lift up into a really nice supported bridge pose. So it feels good to walk the legs. It might feel good to walk the legs long, and it might feel good to reach your arms up overhead. allowing the whole front line of the body to release and to soften. And maybe even closing down your eyes for a few rounds of breath. And just noticing how you're breathing right now. Is your breath kind of stuck up around the chest? Can you begin to guide the breath a little lower and a little slower so the breath is going right down to the side ribs, right down to the belly, feeling the belly expand as you breathe in. And relax as you breathe out. Not only does guiding the breath lower and slower help the nervous system to click into a more parasympathetic phase, rest and digest, but this also really does help with digestion. If our body is in a fight-flight mode, in a parasympathetic mode, we're not going to be digesting very well. That's not priority. Survival is the priority when we're in that kind of a mode. So just taking a moment to really let the body drop down a few notches. And let's begin to walk those feet in whenever you're ready. Take the blocks or pillows out of the way. Sacrum might feel a little tender here, so just give yourself a few beats just to land. Coming into the same movement we did at the start of the class, feet wide, knees knocking down one direction and then the other. So we're massaging our low backs down. And then let's rock ourselves all the way up to seated. You will need your blanket now. Do you like my stripy socks? My mom loves to buy me socks, and they're usually kind of silly socks. So I've got all kinds of cute socks. Hope you like my stripy socks. Grab your blanket, please. I've got my blanket in a folded up way, so it's kind of long, like this. And I'm going to start to roll my blanket up into a little sausage. How big you make your sausage just depends on what your belly is okay with today. So I'm going about halfway. It's like, kind of like size of my hand, but you can just kind of keep getting up, getting down, playing with what feels good. We're going to lay down on that. So if you do have a very tight belly, you might want less blanket. If you're happy to really get in there, roll it up more. We're not torturing ourselves here, but we are moving some things along. So have a little play, come down. I've got the blanket above my hips, but below my ribs. It's right on my belly button. Whew. And if you're not used to this belly rub, it can be a little bit. So I'm going to just make a little pillow for my hands with my forehead. And I'm going to rest down. And maybe a little rock from side to side, just to really massage into that tummy. See if you can keep breathing to your belly. And if that's what are you talking about, Kat? There's no way I'm going to breathe into my belly. That's cool. You just work with you. If you need to come out earlier, that is the beauty of having me in video format. You get to decide where your limit is. I'm going to take about 10 more breaths here. So giving it a minute or so just to really let that belly let go. This is going to help to support to height and bound up connective tissue in the belly, any fascia in the belly that is tight and restricted. So moving into like a bit of myofascial release work here. See if you can breathe into your blanket. So the belly expands and pushes into your blanket as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, let yourself soften and relax over the blanket, maybe even a little wiggle side to side. See how that is. Last few breaths here. Wonderful. Of course, you're very welcome to stay longer. If you're ready to get up, just slowly help yourself up. You might like to take a minute just to lay down and let that settle in. Or have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being here with me. Hope your belly is feeling nice and happy. Thank you.